Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome to the Capital Makers Makerspace for this Father's Day workshop tutorial. This is the final design that I'm working towards in this project. I'd probably describe it as a humorous insert for their holiday card, and so it's not going to be a difficult project. And it's not a real picture of my cat. I did ask her if she wanted to have her picture taken for this project, but she declined. And as you can see, she didn't show as much interest in the project as I did. And I chose to make this out of 1/8 inch birch plywood. Easy to use, cheap if you mess up. And cardstock is a great material to use in the laser cutter to start your initial design. Next, I wanted to make a rough sketch on a piece of paper before I spent too much time deciding what to do on the software. It was not going to be very large, so I decided on about 75 millimeters across the top and 90 millimeters down. Okay, sorry that took so long. Now I'll add 2 lines of text at the top, plus a picture on the side, a third line of text at the bottom, and I'll probably sign it in the middle. There's going to be 3 different settings on this one design. There's going to be a cut outline, scanning of the words, and scanning of the picture. And so I'm going to need to run some tests on each of those 3 different settings on pieces of scrap material. Now I'm ready to move on to the computer. This is the home screen of the RDWorks LaserWorks software. So the first step I wanted to do was create the rectangle, the outline of my shape. Remember, I decided on 7.5 centimeters, 75 millimeters by 9 centimeters tall, 90. There we go. Inserting text over here on the toolbar on the left. I had already entered in Happy Father's Day in some generalized card-like text that I selected from the drop-down menu. Then I go down and click OK. Now it's pretty small, so I'm just going to use the handles to drag it larger to wherever I see fit, and I'm just going to repeat the same process for the remaining 2 lines of text. After all 3 are entered, I'll use the aligning tools at the top of the workspace to make everything look uniform. Now I move on to the image. This is the most difficult layer to work on, but I wanted to use a simple design and something we can get for free offline. And remember how my cat wasn't interested in having her picture taken? Well, if I type the word cat into Google Images, you get pictures like this. Well, the software doesn't like real pictures, so you have to use the keyword vector. And vector will give you high contrast images like these. Pick any image that's free to use and save it. I already picked one and saved it to my desktop. For this small project with just one image, it makes it very easy to find. Now going back into the software, we got to go up and upload the image. Drop down menu, desktop. There it is, tabby, upload, drag it into place. Now that's it for the first round of design. Now I'm going to move on to the materials. Birch is a very easy material to start off with, but I had never used it before, so I needed to adjust the power settings to learn how to use the cut. Started off with various millimeters per second at different power settings to find out what would make a very nice clean cut and as few burn marks as possible.
For the picture, you have to set the settings as well, and there's also different ways to do the image. Dot image, scan, invert, so it's defaulted to different settings. You have to again use a scrap piece. It's a good idea to use cardstock, and to find the right setting. It was too light. I upped the power too much. It burned right through the paper. I changed the style completely. Suddenly it came out to the type of image I wanted it to. I upped the power one more time to 9%. It came out nicely detailed. I dropped it, changed the settings. It was a little too light. I went back and settled on 9% power.
So again, the three different layers, the first one being cutting around the outside edge. The second layer is the wording, and the third will be the picture. The outline, I'm going to make the red layer by clicking on it and then clicking the red box in the bottom left corner. Now to make the words the blue layer, through the same process, click the blue on the bottom left corner, and to make sure I get all three. For the picture, you have to click on this thing called Bitmap Handle at the top of the screen. Now this is the screen you can adjust various aspects of the picture itself. To change how the image looks, you have to click Dither, and then see how the picture comes out in black and white. No, not what I'm looking for. Let me try that again. Click Dither, Net Graphic. Hey, that looks better. Even the default is more like what I'm looking for. Now to finally enter the power settings, double click on any of the colors in the top right corner to open the Layer Parameter dialog box. My very first layer was for the picture. Now enter your chosen speed, for instance this was 70 millimeters per second, and both minimum and max power to 9%. Then moving on to the next layer. My cut was going to be 10 millimeters per second at 20% min and max power. The final layer, speed at 40, power at 70. Then click OK. It's finally time to check my first preview. Go up to the top, click Edit, Preview. Now it shows it'll take about 9 minutes to make. Click Escape. Now it's finally time to download it to the machine. The bottom right has a download button. I'm just going to name it Father's Day 1 and click Enter. And there it goes.
So now I uploaded the design. Just take my material, insert it into the stops. And test my framing. Looks good. Time to turn everything on and see how our design will turn out.
The chiller cools the laser tube down to about 20 to 19 degrees Celsius while the machine's operating. The fume extractor is a 3-stage filter system that keeps the build area clear of debris while the laser is operating. And finally, the air pump has to be plugged in before any work can start. It keeps the nozzle clear of any debris while the laser is running. It gets quite loud in here. Now the chiller's cooled down. That's why I started first. The laser's at its running temperature. Close the lid. Time to push start.
Can't look inside because of the shield from the laser. We can see here on the monitor where the laser is working right now. So it's on the image. Laser just finished. Let's see what happens. Alright. Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to use this to help me lift it out. Good. I think I'll make a couple more adjustments before making the other 3 that I plan to make.
So I plan on making 3 more right beside the first. That's why I was so delicate taking out the first one. If I don't move the plywood, the laser will pick up right where I left off. To make the remaining 3, I'm just going to highlight and use copy and paste and the aligning tools available to me at the top of the screen. Alright, see how 4 are still in color? I only want 3. I'm going to highlight the top left one because that's already been cut out. So I'm going to make a new layer entirely and set it to is output no. That's a very handy trick, but now it's time to do a preview. Oh, I missed one. Not a problem, just click on the picture, set it to the black layer, preview again, That's better. Only 3. Now time to download.
Very cool.
Man, these things are accurate. And there's so many ways I could have tinkered with these. I could have adjusted each picture differently, adding different layers for each one. RDWorks lets you use up to 20 different layers at a time.
I think it turned out pretty well. I think my dad will get a kick out of it too. I'll sign it across here and put it into his Father's Day card and mail it off tomorrow if I don't forget. Thanks for watching. Happy Father's Day.